chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Merry Christmas, everyone. Welcome to the Christmas special episode of the Finn Invasion podcast. Have a Finn Invasion Christmas. And when you watch this episode, say hello. Wait, no. Send it to your friends and share it on Instagram and send it to your other friends and family and coworkers. Anyways, today's very special. I cannot wait to just jump right the fuck into it. I'll be starting by opening some, in a way, gifts that I received a very long time ago because of a tattoo that I got. And I'm going to be talking about, it's from a business, a local business. And I know the person. In fact, I work with the person who owns it. And I've realized that just in case this podcast does get big, I'm not going to be disclosing where I work. I don't even know if I can say this person's name. Maybe I can message her later. But I work with this person. They rank higher than me in the company. So they are in charge of me in some ways. I guess I'll talk more about them later, just because I have so much to say and how much this person has inspired me. And let me show you guys this box. I've been waiting for this for a while. It says HUMNPEACE. Again, it is my coworker's company that she created all by herself. Well, her and her husband. And it is essentially about like spreading peace and love and positivity and educating people about racism. That's why the logo right here has different like skin shades in it. And I got a little tattoo right here above my elbow that says HUMNPEACE. It's the logo. And I showed it to them, and she was like, okay, I guess I've revealed the gender. I was trying to like, I don't know if this person wants their identity out there. I haven't asked because I wanted to surprise them with this episode. I think it's probably fine. I'll just say she. But so I showed it to her and she was like, oh my gosh, like, do you want some free merch? I said, girl, yes, of course I do. And I picked some out, and she's been waiting for me. She was like, hey, can you take a video of yourself opening it? And I said, I'll do you one better. Well, I didn't say this. This is a surprise. So I'm saying now, hey girl, I'll do you one better, and I will open this up on a podcast, and I will dedicate an entire or half of an episode to it, right? So this is a Christmas present to myself, finally getting around to opening these. It really is the perfect time because she was extremely supportive of my podcast very early on. She even asked to come on it. Sorry that I haven't gotten around to that. I promise we will eventually. Pinky winky, but I've just had my hands full with other guests and with solo episodes. So I'm going to open this box. Why didn't I bring scissors? Oh my God. Okay. Why didn't I bring scissors over here? Holy crap. And as I'm opening it and showing you guys the incredible clothing, I will be talking a little bit about the company, or at least what I know about it, and just kind of sharing my thoughts about how awesome this person is, because she is one of the coolest people I've met, and she's just inspired me in so many ways. And what's interesting is that in the beginning, her and I are so different, and we had kind of a tumultuous relationship to begin with when we first started working together. But at this point, I've known her for like, I think 4 years now, and I've grown to have so much like undying respect for her, and I would hope that she, has respect of me too. But she's a lot more like, she's very poised and very like put together in her life, and I'm very envious of the sort of her work ethic and her ability to focus. That's something that I struggle with. And, it took a lot in me to even just dedicate myself to this podcast, but it does feel like what I'm meant to be doing. And she actually has two companies. Sorry, did I leave that part out? That she literally has two companies that are making and designing clothing, and she's creative and she's a great artist. So I am excited to open this one more time. I'll show you the label. Okay. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I forgot what I even got because, okay. So first we got this maroon hat. Oh, this live unboxing. Oh my God. And I love when it has the adjustment, in the back where it's not like Velcro. It's the kind that you pull. Oh my gosh. Yes. This looks incredible. Next up, stickers. Oh my God. I'm going to put this on my new guitar. Yes, I am. I'm going to use that decal on my new, and here we go. I think this is the muscle tee. Sheesh. I know this is going to be much better for people who are viewing and not just listening to the podcast. Look at that. It says, be a decent human. And it has a pink flower in the back and it has some teal. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to wear this. Oh, the material is also so soft. This is a live review of this incredible company. And then we have, oh my God, she sent me so much. And then we have this white little, I don't know how cropped it is, but I know it's one of the shorter tops, and it has a big peace sign on it. Or no, I think this is like a rock on sign, or I love you in sign language, I believe. And then it's made out of hearts. And then we have this black shirt that says Human Peace in it's the Juneteenth shirt. I forgot about that. Yeah, super awesome in the design on the back too. Oh my God, these are amazing. Oh, and then the one at the very bottom is the classic. Oh my God, there's still another one after that. There's so many. Oh God, you are too good to me. And then this one right here. Oh, I cannot wait to style this one. It says, we all bleed the same, Human Peace at the bottom, which is like the main catchphrase of her company. Look at me. I'm just surrounded by gifts. This is crazy. And then at the oh my God, more decal. Yes. I can put this on my guitar as well. It says, be a decent human. Yes. Thank you. I didn't even know she was including that. Wait, there's more. Bro, there's even more. Are you kidding me? There's even more decal. This one's made of fabric. What? Dude. This is awesome. I could put some of this on my wall. Are you joking? Oh my God, this is awesome. And then the very last one is, I really like this one. It's pink. It's very nice and pink. Oh, look at the back. Okay, so this is the front of it. Of course, it says Human Peace. And then in the back, it says spread peace and love. Such a simple message and such a beautiful cause. And I remember she told me one day, I really hope she's okay with me saying this. I remember she told me one day that she got her first hate comment from someone being like, oh, you can't solve racism and solve the world's problems with just some clothes. I was like, first of all, it's called raising awareness. Second, it's called inspiring people and giving them hope. 3, where is this criticism to pointless companies that aren't trying to send a message and that aren't ethical companies and everything? And it's just God, what is so bad about contributing to a good cause? You know what I mean? It's just, but yeah, it's so interesting because this person has actually become really important to me. There have been so many times in my life where I would come into work and I know she's been hard on me at times, but she always wants the best for me. And she seems to just care so much in a way that, she's able to call me out and hold me accountable for things. And I remember one time we were in the office together and she was kind of giving me a talk. I think this was maybe a year and a half ago or something. And I was going through some stuff and she immediately gave me the benefit of the doubt and was like, is there just something going on at home that you're seeming unfocused? You're being really sensitive here and kind of snapping at people. And I realized that accountability is a gift. Because it's showing that you believe the best in someone and you're giving someone a chance to change and to do better. And that, she had just I think in the beginning, you know, over the course of like knowing her for 4 years, she had kept giving me chances, and that means so much to me. And she, you know, I think I've told her this before, where she has a really hard shell, or at least maybe she used to, and then not so much anymore. And, you know, she's softened up a little bit over the years and has become like very understanding. And I remember one time, oh, this was a really special day for me, when she came up to me and she told me that she listened to one of my podcast episodes. This is my old podcast, where I talked to my friend Chelsea, who is like an expert in all things like mental health, or specifically like ADHD. And we were talking about the struggles that we shared about ADHD and everything, and talked about sort of the hindrances that we faced at work and in school, and how people criticize us, and how, you know, it just gets in the way of functioning like quote unquote normal human beings who are neurotypical and who don't suffer from different learning disabilities. And she was like, I kind of realized that, like, yeah, you know, she just grew a lot of compassion for me that maybe she didn't always used to have. And she was like, it just helped me like understand you so much better. And she's just done a really good job with like listening to me. I know this, I don't mean for this episode to just be dedicated to like, just gassing her up, but I don't know, it's true. And I've really been meaning to come around and to open these up and to show you guys these like incredible designs. I mean, look at this. Come on. And she did that herself, bro. Are you kidding me? It's amazing. Cannot wait to wear the crap out of these. I'm going to try to avoid cursing in this episode, just because it's like I want it to be a bit more wholesome than my usual stuff. Anyways, in the spirit of accountability, and in the spirit of what I was talking about before with like just being a better person and improving, improving on, you know, your character and yourself and your life. And let's talk about some of my New Year's resolution-wooshies. My New Year's resolutions is what I meant to say. So the other day, oh God, I don't know if I should talk about this. The other day, I was at a concert, and there was someone there that I've talked about it on the podcast. Hold on, let me take a drink first. I'm drinking cider right now in a very Christmassy looking cup, kind of. I don't know. It has a red straw. That's Christmassy, right? And this is kind of embarrassing. So his birthday was last month, December something, I'm pretty sure. And he's a Scorpio. I should have known he was bad news when I found out he was a fucking Scorpio. Anyways, so I bought him a birthday present because I had given him another chance after he completely freaking screwed me over and just ignored me. And so I believed in him. I believed in the best in him. And he admitted to like, I treated you poorly. Like, I'm sorry. And then he did the exact same thing again. But before that, you know, I got him this like cool gift. It was it's a necklace that has a little guitar on it with like a skull on the end, but it's also a bottle opener. So it's a double trouble, dude. It is the double threat, you know, jack of all trades. It's a cool necklace. It's a guitar. It's a bottle opener. So I just thought it was really thoughtful, but then really useful also. So I get to the concert and he's there. I knew he'd be there. But I knew I had to go to support my Caliber boys. That was the band I was going to see. It was Caliber. Had a little necklace that said Caliber on it. Some of the most talented guys I've met. They're great. Just shout out to so many wonderful, talented people locally that I am lucky enough to have in my life. So I'm there, and I see him and I typed down something because I didn't want to say it to him because it was loud and there was music playing, and I show him my phone and it says, hey, like, I have your birthday present. And then he was like, oh, like, thank you. We'll talk after the show. And here's the thing. I'm not, despite what I know I'm a hopeless romantic, but I'm not an idiot. And of course, deep down in my heart, like deep down, I was like, this motherfucker isn't going to talk to me. But it did still hold on to hope because I like to believe the best in people. And I thought maybe there was a chance. And then after his band went on and performed, yeah, he's in a band. I'm going to spill that tea. I don't give a shit. I found him again. I was outside making friends because I met a lot of amazing people there. Everyone at the Conduit is always a vibe. Everyone who goes to that venue is such a vibe. It's crazy. And so I go up to him and I was like, hey, like, when are we going to talk? He's like, oh, like, I'm about to go back inside and watch the next band. And I'm like, okay, so that doesn't answer my question. Like, when are we talking? And he was like, oh, are you going to like hang out after the show? And I'm like, maybe a little bit. He was like, okay, I'll find you. I was like, you promise? And he goes, or like, I held up my pinky as if to say, like, do you pinky promise? He was like, I'm not pinky promising. And I'm like, of course you're not. Like, I wish I had said I kind of wish I had just said, like, you know what, like, and I had messaged him earlier, like a month earlier, and I said, like, the next time we hang out, it is going to be the last time. And he was like, why? I was like, I think you know why. And I'm like, I don't even want to talk about this right now, but like, we are going to go our separate ways. And it is just, it made me realize a lot. And so, anyway, sorry, let me finish the story. And so he was like, yeah, I'll come find you. And I knew, I was like, bitch, no, you're not. No, the fuck you're not. Like, you don't care about me. Like, so I wrote down a lot of life lessons that I learned that night. Here we go. Here's what I wrote. I wrote it a few days later. I'll be honest about that. Let's see. Life lessons. All right. Don't fight for someone who isn't fighting for you. Do not value someone who doesn't value you. That's something that has been hard for me to implement in my life. And it's like, why am I believing in someone who is proving me wrong over and over again? Do not believe someone who is displaying no integrity whatsoever. Part of me wishes that I had like just told him off and just been like, you know what, you're selfish, like you're a liar, like you suck. But I mean, that wouldn't have been very nice of me. It would have been like, I wrote down another thing. It was literally just like words of affirmation to myself. I wrote, let me see. I wrote, choose kindness, turn the other cheek, choose kindness, don't burn bridges, always choose kindness. It's so hard in moments when you've been hurt by someone to not want to do the exact same thing back to them, to not feel this sense of like, I want revenge. Like that's one of the most toxic parts of me, I think. That's one of my most toxic traits is like I have to like thought police myself like with these thoughts that come into my head of wanting revenge and wanting to like, specifically with men, this really never happens with women. Like if a guy, this is always in romantic ways, right? Like this is a guy that I'm romantically interested in. That's the only time I ever get really vindictive is when I'm like, damn it, like I wasted time on you. I wasted my emotions, my energy. You do not deserve any part of me. You did not deserve the effort that I showed to you. And you don't deserve my love. You don't deserve anything. And it's like, it's so hard to remember that. And one of my New Year's resolutions was to remember my self-worth and what I have to offer. And if a guy doesn't see that, or a girl even, hell, you know, women have broken my heart too. Oh my God. Girls are evil. Wait, hold on, wait, don't take that out of context. Oh my gosh, I'm still a feminist, guys, relax. But I mean, anyone in romance can hurt you, but I mean, it's been different. It just hits different with the guys, man, you know? So, I struggle with like letting things go. I know that's coming, as I know everyone who's like knows me in real life and everyone who's like my coworker and friend is screaming right now, being like, yeah, we know you really don't know how to fucking let go. Like I defend people who I really, really like, even if they're horrible to me, specifically with guys. I make excuses for them, and I take so much bad treatment, and I give way too many chances. Like, do not give chances to someone who's not even like being good to you. Like, it's just dumb, you know? And it's hard to, it's like that quote from Perks of Being a Wallflower. It says, we accept the love we think we deserve. And I have felt that heavy. Now that is tattoo worthy. Let me take another sippy sip of this cider. Everyone who is drinking with me, take a sip as well. And it's Christmas Eve when I'm releasing this, so perhaps you're watching this with your families, or you are sipping on some hot cider, or you're watching this with your friends, or whoever you spend the holidays with. Also, I want to spread some love and joy and peace to everyone listening. Perhaps I'm inspired by the merch in front of me, just saying. But anyways, so some of my New Year's resolutions is, and this one's a little superficial, but I do believe in myself that I can do it. No more going on dates with guys that I don't see potential with for at least the next 6 months. And when I say potential, I mean real potential. I want a partner in the future. I want to get married. I want to probably start a family, but I know I really want to be a wife one day. I know that sounds really fucking corny. I get it. But I don't know. I think about what that means to me. And I know people have their gripes with marriage as an institution and as like an idea. And I see the criticism 100%. I understand what people are coming from. And 50% of marriages end in divorce. But I have just had so many fantasies lately about being able to devote myself to someone and just be a person's like confidant and someone that they can always trust and always turn to. And circling back to that story that I was telling about the concert, one of the gifts that I was going to give him was in an envelope. I wrote a song about him. Yes, I know. I fucking wrote a song about him. Okay, everyone roll your eyes. Yes, I deserve. Okay, I get it. I know. Believe me, I know. But I was going to it was the only positive song I'd ever fucking written about him, because there are some angry ones. Let me tell y'all what. So I wrote a song about him, and it was the only positive one I wrote. And I was going to put it in a little mini envelope, and I was going to give it to him, and I was going to say, the past few weeks, you've made me feel really unwanted. And I realized that even if you're not in my life, or even if anyone isn't in my life, I never ever want to inflict those feelings upon someone. I never want anyone in my life to feel not valued or feel unwanted. And I was like, so I want to give this to you to symbolize that, like, even though I'm never going to be in your life again, because I was fully planning on cutting this person off, not burning a bridge, not like, don't ever speak to me again, but like, I will not reach out to you and like, we are not friends. Maybe we can reconcile sometime years down the line, but it doesn't have to be now. And it is not going to be now. Like, I'm not allowing that. But it's important when you're going to run in the same circle as them. I want to be in the Orlando music scene, especially, sometime next year when I'm wanting to perform and things like that. So I'm going to run into this guy. Like, whether it's every few months or something, like if we're at the same concert, if he's playing with one of the bands that I interviewed, like I know that I won't be able to avoid this person completely. So I was like, don't be mean, don't burn a bridge, like don't treat him the way that he's treated you, and don't make him feel the way that he's made you feel, because it's not worth it. Like, revenge is like, it's pretty much never worth it, right? Like, maybe it feels good in the moment to feel like, oh, karma came and got you. But like, success is the best revenge. Just being able to live freely and move on from something, that's the best, like, quote unquote revenge. But to get back to the song, I was going to give it to him, and I was going to say, like, I want you to save this, keep it somewhere safe, and only open it during a time in your life, like save it for this day, a time in your life when you feel truly unwanted or disposable. That was something that he made me feel a lot, was I felt really disposable. And I was like, and I want you to open this and read it and know that someone in this world, in this town even, wrote a song about you, cared about you enough and valued you enough, and saw enough potential in you to write a fucking song about you. And that there was a time when a girl who the day that you met me, you told me that I was the prettiest girl that you've ever seen, which, by the way, cap. Like, obviously cap. But, like, maybe you were caught up in the moment or whatever, infatuated with the idea of me, whatever it was. But I was, like, a girl that you really, really liked in the beginning for, like, a whole 2 months, wanted you more than anyone else. So you can never sit there and be like, has anyone ever really wanted me? Because that's an insecurity that I have. And I was like, I never want to inflict that insecurity onto you. And I want you to remember that there was past tense, a time when someone really, really wanted you. And will never again. No, it was a kindness thing. It was more about like, I don't want you to feel the way that you made me feel, even though, you know, it was a way of fighting back my own like feelings of wanting revenge and wanting to like, I want to fucking destroy you because you hurt me, when really it's not good. It's not sad. Like, it's not going to satisfy any part of you. So, but then obviously I didn't get a chance to do that because he fully avoided me after saying he would come find me, which I knew was going to happen. Which is why when I got home that day and I was like, okay, I have to write down this song, because I had it just on my notes app. I didn't have it written down. So I started physically writing it down, and I got through the first like 4 lines, and I was like, I do not feel like writing the rest of this. I was like, do I even care that much? And I was like, you know what? Fuck this part of the gift. I'll just bring him his necklace. And I was like, maybe that was a sign, or like a part of me being like, he's not worth it. Do not waste your time like physically writing something down that is so important and so meaningful to you and so vulnerable when you know you're probably not even going to get the chance to give it to him. Because I knew there was a chance that like, there's a good chance he might not talk to me tonight. And I was right. But part of me did still believe in him. But I was wrong, and that's okay. I gave myself permission to be really, really sad for one day. And then I knew, I was like, okay, Autumn, this is a guy that you really didn't know that well. You were probably really just more invested in the idea of having a boyfriend, the idea, dare I say, maybe the idea of dating someone who was in a band and feeling like you could, you know, benefit from that in some way. There were probably some, admittedly, and I hate to say it, there were probably just some selfish aspects of this infatuation or like this fixation that I had on like giving him another chance. And I was really attracted to him. It was probably a lot of superficial things, as much as I hate to admit it. But I'm human, and, you know, just important to be self-aware and to be honest with yourself, even if it's embarrassing or even if it makes you look kind of bad. But I was like, oh, I forgot where I was going with this. I'm sorry. Oh, damn it. What was I saying? Bro, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, God. I might have to edit this part out. Let me take a drink, see if it comes back to me. Oh, right. Yes. Because it wasn't like a huge investment, I had really only hung out with him a handful of times. I knew I was upset. But I knew that this wasn't something that was going to like keep me up at night. You know, I knew it was just kind of a disappointment. That was what was heartbreaking. Because I saw him and I was like, why do I feel heartbroken by this person? And I realized it wasn't because he had enough of an impact on me to like break my heart. It was more about my disappointment and the way that he disappointed me and my feelings of like, I saw potential again for the first time in a year, and then all over again, somebody proved me wrong, and now I'm sad. And I I gave myself permission to feel those feelings, and I was like, Autumn, let yourself be sad as you need to be, and wallow and mull over it and be, mad and write your lyrics and just be upset, but just for today, just this one day. And then tomorrow you are going to, and that's a really good, strategy. If you are someone who struggles with dealing with your emotions, if you're someone who struggles with like emotional intelligence and the way that you cope, a really good method is deciding how upset you should be, how upset you need to be about something, giving yourself a nice time limit, being like, I can be as angry and irrationally upset for this amount of time, and then after that, I'm going to feel better because I already had that outlet, right? It's giving yourself kind of an outlet. And I gave myself permission, an outlet. And I said, Autumn, be really sad today if you need to be. And then, you'd be surprised. As soon as you give yourself permission to feel something instead of distracting yourself, it starts to go away pretty quick because the feelings are stronger when you are repressing them. Your feelings will always intensify when you're like trying so hard to push them away, right? Like it's the same thing that they say about when thoughts and feelings are stuck in your brain, they're really big. And as soon as you speak them out loud or express them to someone, they get smaller and they feel less heavy and they hold less weight in your life and less pain in your life. And it's a release of tension. And that's something that I feel like people don't appreciate enough. And, but anyways, so I'm glad that he did not get this gift for me because I got a free necklace and now I can look at it and know that, this in a way it kind of symbolized like I was going to give this to someone who didn't deserve it. And now it's a gift from me. It's a gift from me to me as a reminder that it really is like a perfect reminder of putting yourself first. Cause I was like, this was originally bought. I got this as a thoughtful gift for this person who has ignored me, which is one of the meanest things you can do to someone. And it's so cruel. And this person who blew me off, kind of led me on. And I will say one thing. It's one thing to ignore a person who you think hurt you. It's one thing to ignore a person that you're not into. It's a completely different thing to ignore someone and brush them aside right after telling them, and this is what he said to me, that my kindness meant everything to him. I wished him a happy birthday, and he's like, I was like, I have a gift for you. He was like, meeting you is a gift in itself. And I was like, bitch, what? Why? You haven't been talking to me. What are these words right now that you're saying to me? I didn't say that. I thought it, because I thought that would be, not very kind to say. And I always choose kindness, or I try to. It's not always easy. But I was like, no, like, don't thank me. This is just like, that's a really nice thing to say, that it was a gift to meet me. Like, same to you. Not true. This man is not special. And then he was like, believe it or not, my life is really terrible right now and I don't show it, but your kindness means the world to me. And I was like, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I don't want your life to be terrible. Are you kidding me? Like, that's a rough thing to hear and to say. And I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, if you need anyone, you can come to me. And I meant that. Even though he was being shitty, no one deserves to feel like their life is terrible. No one. And so it is another thing, like I was saying, it's another thing to say things like that to someone, to confide in them and be like, my life is terrible. Your kindness means everything to me. Meeting you was a gift, and then ignoring them. Because what you're doing is you're fucking confusing that person, and you're making them feel inadequate. You're making them feel like, wait, you're saying all these kind things to me, and then you're not following through and acting like it's like, oh, you have a really strange way of showing that my kindness means everything to you by ignoring me for weeks. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I mean nothing to you. I don't mean shit to you. And so one of my big resolutions is like, enough, Autumn, enough giving time and energy and effort and investing your emotions into someone who literally is showing you nothing, like giving you nothing, making you feel like you're nothing. And again, confusing someone, that's a really underrated, like, horrible emotion to inflict onto someone. Like, people underestimate how horrible it is to be confused about something, because then you don't know how to feel. So if you don't know how to feel or what you're feeling, you don't know how to deal with those feelings. The only thing you can do with the emotion of confusion is overthink. That's the only thing you can do, and that is torturous, right? Like with something like a heartbreak or a rejection or some kind of disappointment, there are tried and true ways to deal with that feeling. Like you're just like, oh, let's, comfort food. Let's get some girls over for wine night. Let's eat some junk food, eat some ice cream, watch some like, funny movie, and then we'll get through it. But when you're feeling confusion to where you are questioning yourself and doubting yourself, and through this whole thing where I was like, do I take this person at his word? Do I take a, like, you mean everything to me, or like your kindness means everything to me? Do I take these words and I say, okay, he feels this way, maybe he's just having a hard time reaching out, and he's just, he said his life is terrible, so I should feel bad for him, and I should give him a pass to make me feel like shit. Like, it's just not worth it. It's a vicious, toxic cycle in your mind. And like, again, what do you do with that? What do you do with that feeling other than rant to your fucking friends and wallow in it, Like, I would much rather prefer, and I said this in another episode where I talked about, like, being a hopeless romantic. I was like, do we prefer the truth? And I've come to the conclusion, we prefer the truth. We, at the end of the day, most of the time, we prefer someone just being like, I'm not into you. Or something as simple as, I don't feel the same way. That was what I needed to hear from him. Like, don't sidestep and don't do this sugarcoating bullshit of like, you are taking me for granted and you're taking my kindness and you're like utilizing it and like leeching off of it. Like, the reason that he ignored me and the reason that he said those nice things and then ignored me is because he was manipulating this like part of me where he could still keep me around. He knew that if he gave me enough breadcrumbs and enough like validation and kindness, he knew I was a sucker for that. He knows me well enough to know that I will believe every kind thing that is told to me, because I don't lie about like nice shit like that. I don't lie like that, and so I always am taking things at face value, because I was like, why would someone ever lie about this? Like, why would someone say something that they don't mean? Of course, that doesn't even register in my fucking brain. And how someone could do that and not follow through and just be a person who says something that they don't mean. Like, I understand in the moment, or like maybe something small, or maybe something that you change your mind on. Sure, I'll let that slide. But to go out of your way to know you're saying very paramount words and like big words of like, you mean everything to me, or meeting you was a gift. I'm sorry, that's nice as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, God, he knew, I'm sorry, correction. He thought that he could keep me around in that way, where just keep me on the back burner and be like, she's always going to want me. Like, I can just reach out to her whenever I need her. So I'm going to give her these little breadcrumbs of validation and just reach out to her whenever I feel like it. That might, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that wasn't what he was thinking, but I know that is the thought of a lot of different people out there, and a lot of people are probably experiencing someone in their life who does that, and they might act similarly to the way that this dude acted. The reason I've talked about him multiple times on here is because I've kind of allowed myself to learn a lot from this situation. And I've found ways to like be honest with myself about things that are kind of hard to admit and kind of hard and not fun to admit, not fun to accept. And so, I guess this person was just a vessel, of self-discovery. and looking back and the thoughts that I was having, it was never about him as a person. It was about like what he represented. And it was about just the disappointment that I felt. And so I guess some of my, what is my big New Year's resolution is to always remember my worth, remember what I have to offer, never let anyone, especially any man, shake that from my mind and, shake my confidence or make me insecure or unsure of myself ever again. Maybe not ever. Okay, hold on. Let's be realistic. Do your best to prevent that from happening, Autumn. How about that? Because that's it's a hard thing to do. It's easier said than done, It's advice that it's hard to follow your own advice sometimes, and that's what I would say to anyone who was going through what I was going through. But I want to hold on to my self-worth. I want to maintain my character as a human being. Don't burn bridges. Always choose kindness even when it is so hard and when you want to be petty and you want to be vitriolic and vindictive and, like very petulant towards people. It's just not worth it. And I guess that's where I want to end this, in the spirit of Christmas and New Year's resolutions. Everyone comment below 3 New Year's resolutions that they have. Comment what you're doing for Christmas. And, the past few episodes or like one of my more recent episodes, I forgot to do my sign off. Whoopsies. So I'm going to do it right now. All right. So also just real quick thing. Will you guys please leave reviews on Apple Podcasts, please? I need 5-star reviews and I really need more like feedback if you could. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And as I always say, if you feel like you don't fit in on this earth, don't worry, you are out of this world. Have a great one, guys, and Merry Christmas.